Take a deep breath. All you beautiful people, day one of free agency is in the books. Welcome to League Unlocked. My name is Eric, hanging out with you guys as always. And listen, kudos to a lot of the people online on Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, wherever, where these rumors were surfacing from. A lot of them ended up being true, even on just day one of free agency. We're going to go through some of the biggest signings or not signings that we saw on that first day of action. We'll start in the LCS, and one rumor that just kind of pushed through right towards the end a couple of days before was the Zven to Cloud9 rumors, and ended up coming true. It was one of the biggest announcements that we saw on day one. He's going to be paired now with Vulcan in the bottom lane, and we had this projected C9 roster that we did yesterday before all the announcements, and now projected is looking like it's definitely going to be what the lineup will be for Cloud9. And if you're a fan, I think you should actually be excited about this roster because Licorice, Blabber, and Vulcan are three resident North American players. They haven't reached their ceiling, I don't think, especially for Blabber and Vulcan. I mean, Licorice is a MVP nominee, so that's a pretty good ceiling to get to. But those three players are a great foundation for an organization, and you're always going to have two import slots open around them. And now you have 5 different players who have never won an LCS title, so you know that the fire is going to be there for these guys to win. A lot of them have different things to prove. Licorice, to prove that he's still one of the best in North America. Niski, I think disappointment at Worlds. He wants to prove he's back on track. Vulcan, everybody always underestimates him and just doesn't think he's a top 4 support. He can prove them wrong. Blabber is Mr. Inconsistent. And of course, Zven has probably the most to prove out of all these players on this Cloud9 roster because he didn't win an LCS title on TSM. He didn't even go to a world championship in 2 years. I think this bot lane is immediately an upgrade from Sneaky and Zeyzal. That was clearly one of the biggest weak points for Cloud9 throughout most of 2019. I know that it's a little bit insane and it's going to be weird to not see Sneaky in a C9 jersey if he ends up signing with another team or doesn't sign with anyone in spring. Either way, not seeing him on the stage will be odd. He's been a staple ever since the organization existed in Season 3, and I mean, that's just kind of where we have to get to in esports when you're comparing to traditional sports. When you underperform, even if you are the iconic face of the franchise, if your team is about winning, eventually changes have to be made, and Cloud9 pulled the trigger. I think Zven will be an upgrade there. We'll see how they fit Vulcan and Zven together in that bottom lane, but now you got 2 Canadians on Cloud9, Licorice and Vulcan. So you know, the old adage was you have to have a Canadian on your team to win in the LCS before Team Liquid completely, destroyed that with winning 4 in a row. But Cloud9 still looking for that first title since way back in 2014. I think you're happy with this roster, and they could still probably compete for a top 3 spot in North America and maybe vie for that coveted LCS championship, assuming Blabber can be a little bit more consistent in his play. Some of the other big news was obviously Xmithie. He was kind of the most looked to free agent. Was he going to come back with Team Liquid? Was he going to hit that open market? And yes, the thank you Xmithie video came out. He will not be a part of Team Liquid, the 4-time champions. And Xmithie, he talked about in this montage video with Team Liquid, he's probably the oldest professional player still going. He's been around since Season 2. He's in his late 20s, but it doesn't sound like he's retiring anytime soon. Jacob Wolf already reporting that he is going to be finalizing a deal to join Immortals, which took over Optic Gaming's spot. And you remember that he used to play on Immortals in 2017, kind of helped completely turn that team around in the summer split en route to a 2nd seed at the World Championship. And I know people like to say Xmithie has been the biggest weak point internationally, but I mean, Team Liquid just keeps upgrading their roster in every single position that eventually your weak point is just not even that bad, and he's still going to be one of the best junglers in North America. He's been there. He's been top 3 since Season 3, basically. So obviously, even if he doesn't end up going to Immortals, he doesn't take up an import slot, he's going to be a top 3 consistent jungler. He has some of the best Baron and objective smite control that we've ever seen in North America. So happy for him if he goes to Immortals or wherever else he will, because tons of North American teams will be looking his way come 2020. TSM was one of the teams that was maybe in the sweepstakes for Xmithie, but they will have one familiar face coming back in 2020, Biofrost. Bio Daddy from 2017, the best era of Team Solo Mid. A straight up trade. Biofrost for Xmithie. Xmithie goes to CLG, Biofrost comes back to TSM. If you're Team Solo Mid, that is a huge win for them. I think Bio performed much better than Xmithie did for the majority of 2019, and you could even go back to 2018. Xmithie, I mean, since going on Cloud9, he's been on Echo Fox to TSM. Now he's going over to CLG. Biofrost, maybe this was all a 500 IQ plan by TSM. He goes to CLG, takes much more of that leadership and shot calling role, which was, if you remember, one of the main reasons why Reggie and TSM decided to get rid of him. They wanted Xmithie in particular to come for his shot calling and leadership. They wanted to keep Doublelift, but Zven was kind of a package deal with Xmithie, so that's why they ended up getting rid of Bio. But now he hopefully has more of those qualities that they were looking for. I think he's going to be happy to be playing with Bjergsen again, and vice versa. This is a great start to the offseason if you are Team Solo Mid. CLG, I don't know whose decision it was, if Bio wanted to leave or if they wanted to get rid of him. I'm going to assume that Bio wanted to leave and was interested in going back to TSM, because it is a tough loss if you are CLG. But starting things right for Team Solo Mid in the offseason. A bunch of the other signings or non-signings that happened on that first day. You've had Golden Glue, which was one of the most surprising ones, and I know this was, again, something that was rumored, I think, by Travis coming in to this point, that he was going to start for Froggen on the Golden Guardians, which seems like a downgrade on first glance. Of course, we have the absolute dream of Grayson, Golden Glue, Gilmer starting for the Golden Guardians. That's a whole lot of G's, and you better be typing them in chat. GG is going to GGS. I'm happy that he's finally going to get a starting role. I think he's been ready for this for almost a full year now, since he was subbing in as a swole bro with Sven Skaren back in 2018. He's somebody just like DeMonte, who again is of native residence in North America and have shown that they can absolutely compete on the big stage in the LCS. So happy to see Golden Glue get that starting spot. I don't know what it means for Froggen, if he's going to continue playing, if he's going to continue playing in North America or go back to streaming. Obviously, he was still more than capable. The solo lanes hard carried the Guardians through basically the entire season. So I really hope we get to continue to see Froggen in the LCS this upcoming split. A couple of EU players, more than a couple, looks like 3 potentially coming over to North America. Ignar going to FlyQuest to play with Wild Turtle, and it sounds like, again, these were 2 big rumors that we were expecting to come true. Kabe coming to TSM, Jacob Wolf reporting again that they're just finalizing that deal. So you're going to have Kabe and Biofrost very likely in the bottom lane for TSM, and with Xmithie out, Broxah probably coming over to Team Liquid and North America, which means the Team Liquid roster, Doublelift will be the only player that started as a domestic North American player. We know Jensen is now getting residency. Impact already a resident of North America. So Broxah and Core JJ would be the 2 import slots for Team Liquid. That is North America's top team, really only one actual North American on the roster, and then Meteos and Power of Evil both becoming free agents. Meteos likely leaving Immortals, just again paves way for Xmithie coming in as their starting jungler. That's just day one. Plenty of more news that still needs to be broken. Who is going to be jungler for TSM? That seems to be the one that everyone is most curious about, and we haven't heard too many rumors about it.